Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Got some new custom capes to show you from Lab Toys on Facebook, intended for your Michael Keaton 1/6 scale Hot Toys Batman figures. Serious upgrade. These were the previous ones that I've reviewed on the channel. Still looking fantastic, but I've got some new ones from them at Lab Toys, who has used the same material but added a leathery like kind of print and grain to the surface of the cape. So we should have the same beautiful drape, but with a nice leathery look now. So I hope you enjoy this review. Hit the like button on it, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Instagram at DeanKnight333. That's Lab Toys on Facebook. That's where you go to get these capes. Tell them Dean sent you. So this is the last cape I got from Lab Toys. And here is the new one. You can definitely already see the grain, that leathery look on the outside here. So it is a noticeable visual difference. So let's get it on the figure. It's a very simple installation. This is the latest 89 Hot Toys Batman 1/6 scale figure, but with a custom head by Unreal Toys. And check out the review for this custom head if you haven't watched it already, because it's amazing. It's got moving eyes, 3 different mouth plates, and the likeness to Michael Keaton is insane. And the accuracy of the cowl, all incredible. So I'll remove the head, and it should be easy enough to do. And that's the Unreal Toys neck connector. Then I just remove the Lab Toys custom cape, and I'll put the new one on. And I've got 3 here. One for 89, one for 92, and an experimental test cape for the Hot Toys Arkham City Batman figure, which I have. I'll try that for you at the end of the video. I'm going to need both hands though for this. But there you go, super easy. You just stick it on over the neck peg or whatever your situation is. You got a hole in the cape that just goes over there, it rests on the shoulders, and you just put the head back on. And that's it, we're done. Alright, see it on the rotating base. I think Lab Toys have done an amazing job improving on an already fantastic custom cape. Just adding that extra realism now with the leathery look on the outside of the cape. He's fine-tuned that. Got it looking really nice. It's the perfect length as well. It just hangs so naturally. Perfect scale for the figure as well. It just enhances everything. Okay, that looks really cool. I just didn't even get him holding on to the edges of the cape. I just left the fists on and raised up the arms a bit and kind of hung them on his wrists, just draping over his hands, and it looks great. I will say the figure is already starting to resist me when it comes to arm movement. He's starting to resist me when I'm trying to lift up the arms and bend the elbows. They're kind of just going back where they want to go. Look how great the cape looks though. That is gorgeous, the way it's just flowing. It's a really badass look. If I had more room on the shelves, I'd display him like that. Yeah, it just looks amazing from the back. And here it is just flowing around him. Kind of just hangs straight down. and you can easily manipulate it and get it to fall and get the folds to be how you want them to be. It's very easy to work with. And now looking at the cape on the Hot Toys Batman Returns figure. This is the first version that they released. There is a new 2.0 coming out soon, and he will not have that horrible square or just a big chunk of the back of his cowl that you can remove like this one does. But the suit is fine, everything else is fine with this figure. Articulation is about the same as it is on the new 89. And I may one day upgrade the sculpt to a custom one by Unreal Toys, and then it will be perfect. But the cape looks gorgeous on the Batman Returns figure, just like it did on the 89, so it works really well for both. And this figure had the worst cape of any Hot Toys cape I've ever had before. The stock cape that came with this guy was atrocious. This is necessary. Very necessary upgrade. Changed up the pose a little bit. I'm definitely going to have to get a custom head for this one. I mean, it looks fine from the front. It looks really good. The side profiles, fine. Then what's going on? You got a big old section of your head there, which is removable in order to get to the moving eyes. Whereas on the custom one, you just stick your finger up inside the head sculpt and move them yourself. You have a beautiful, seamless look. He looks really pissed off. Look at that. Now moving on to the Hot Toys Arkham City Batman. And I've repainted my figure to look more like the Arkham Asylum look, with the black and grey rather than the grey and dark blue from Arkham City, and weathered all the edges of the blades. There's videos on the channel from a few years back when I did all the mods and repainting. So Lim at Lab Toys has not got this figure in his collection, I don't think. So he was working with just some, just me communicating with him back and forth about how the cape kind of needs to be designed in order to go over the shoulders the way it does in the game. But like I said, he doesn't have the figures, so this is a test. We'll see how this cape looks, and I'll let him know, and he'll see this video and he can decide whether he needs to make any adjustments or make them available as they are. Let's get to it. I'm going to try it out. Alright, so cape's easy to put on, but I'd have to be honest and say it's not the right kind of design around the shoulders. It's quite a tricky thing to describe, and Lim doesn't have the figure, so I was sending him videos and pictures of what I currently have set up on my one here, and explaining that the shoulder area is a very kind of specific design to how it's stitched. It's almost like there's a separate piece of material that kind of goes around the shoulder here and then connects onto the cape that flows down the back, and this is all one piece. And you could, like I've tried to here, you can kind of try and maneuver the material around to give it that look, like it kind of wraps around his shoulder here and then falls down naturally behind him. But it is an illusion that I'm doing with the cape to try and achieve that look. So while it is a beautiful cape, and I could probably make it work on this figure just by maneuvering the cape around and trying to create that illusion that it is the way it is in the video game, it is a beautiful cape, but it's not quite there yet, I'd have to say to Lim. I'll try and send him some more videos, and maybe in the future it will be something that works. It does look great though. Beautiful length. I guess it should trail a little bit more along, close to the surface for the accurate look as well, because it was always trailing behind him a little bit longer. Right, so this is the Jackson one, and you can see the material kind of carries on up the neck, but at the front where the shoulders are, see there's like this flap of material here, and that is an accurate design, but it should have more folds and wrinkles in it, and it's not possible to achieve those wrinkles and folds with this thin little bit of material. But that comes over the shoulder at the front, and then the cape, you can see the line there, then it just trails behind him. So that's the Jackson one from years ago. It was a very good design. You can see how he did it. It's very, very well done. But neither one is accurate, unfortunately. It's a very tricky cape to do. There's a cool image there. I've got some other images, but you can see how it just kind of comes straight across over the shoulders and then falls down behind him. Now I have just done a little trick with a hair clip at the back, pincing it, to get the same look. So you can do it, and if you're not going to be worried about people looking at this from the back, then that cape will definitely achieve the correct look. But it is a trick, It's just pinched together at the back with one of those little hair clip things. Very crude, but when we turn him to the front, ladies and gentlemen, and we turn down the brightness quite a bit, let's get him looking nice and moody. Let's get the camera to focus on the subject. Yes, here we go. Yeah, that looks pretty friggin' sweet. So I can make it work, this cape, but Lim at Lab Toys, good sir, if you're watching, it's a tricky task, I know, but if you can find a way to design this cape so that it comes around the shoulders and then falls down naturally, it is possible. It's just a bit of an awkward design, but if not, you can always clip it at the back, which is what I think I will do from now on for this display, because I think that looks really, really awesome from the front. So it kind of works and it doesn't. It's not the correct design, but you can make it look like it is, so yeah, still a great figure. I mean, I've done a lot of mods to him, repainted him. I've done some removing of the rubber suit under the armpits to get the arms to go more flat by his sides like this. I hate that kind of look you get when the arms won't lay flush. They're always sticking out to the sides. It looks really awkward. But an amazing head sculpt by Hot Toys, and this cape, can certainly look very, very good. I mean, that's how I'm going to rock him from now on, I think. It's pretty badass. Oh, he looks absolutely badass on the shelf with the Joker now, with the new cape. I know it's crude how I've got it done up at the back, but it's undeniable. He looks amazing on the shelf. It kind of makes him look, I don't know, just seems to the way it's falling with like real weight behind him, because it's not trailing on the ground around him, and the cape is a nice thick, well, it's not a thick material, but it's got a nice bit of weight to it, so it's falling very naturally, and it's just working with the whole figure's proportions and the way he's standing. It just looks very real. Now obviously this cape should be trailing on the ground a little bit, but I'm just saying the fact that it's not is making it fall very naturally at the moment, and it looks really cool on the shelf next to Joker. I was just thinking, out of all these 1/6 scale Batmans that you can get, which one is the most necessary, where you really should get a custom cape, where it's actually, necessary to do because Hot Toys or whatever company did it so badly it needs replacing? And that would either be Batman Returns, Hot Toys, that one there. That was extremely necessary to get a custom cape for. I'd say probably in general it would be Batman Begins, because of what it's supposed to be able to do, hang behind him, over his shoulders, or come around, literally envelop him and hide him in the shadows and wrap around him all broody and moody like this one does. Yeah, I'd say Batman Begins is the most necessary if you have a 1/6 scale Batman, unless you got the Takara Batman Begins, which was designed incredibly well. Their cape to this day is still one of the very best 1/6 scale capes I've ever seen, because the Batman Begins cape, when you lay the material of the cape when it's cut on a flat desk. It's almost a complete circle with just a slit at the top. That's how it needs to be designed for Batman Begins, so it can go around him and wrap him up without looking awkward. Alright folks, so the Arkham Asylum Arkham City cape still needs a bit of time in the oven, a little bit of time in the R&D department, but a very, very good effort, and I can definitely make it work. But the Michael Keaton stuff, that's an absolute home run. I highly recommend you pick yourself up one of these Lab Toys capes for your 1/6 scale Michael Keaton figures. They are a definite necessary upgrade. I hope you've enjoyed the video, folks. Drop a like on it if you did, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Instagram at DeanKnight333. I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Bye bye.